Hey everybody, welcome to Wine Time. It's Friday. Yay, it's Yappy Hour. I'm Melanie, Nectar of the Dog's Wine. I am here this week with Bronny, who is he's sleeping, as he does. Oh, he just woke up. How's everybody doing? Wow, it's, like I said, it's Friday. It's November. And, California's kind of in a weird place right now. We are going backwards, not forwards. So we're on curfew. I'm pretty sure we're going to be on lockdown. So if you kind of tuned in some previous episodes, the plan was always for Monica to be here on set. That's not going to happen. So let's go to Northridge and see what's going on with Monica. Hey, Mon. Cheers.
Hey, Mel. Cheers. Nice hair.
Thanks.
Looks good.
Thank you. It's a little fluffier than I like, but it's clean. It's
It's
touched up.
blonde.
So thanks for that.
Yes.
Monica, cheers. Let's have a sip of wine because that's what we're all about.
Yes.
Wine,
Cheers.
dogs. Cheers. So Monica, we have a lot of exciting stuff that's happened in the last couple weeks. Remember a couple of weeks ago we were here, actually November 6th, I think,
Yep.
and that was our show. We were honoring Vinny because yes, we recently lost little Vinny a few weeks ago. And so, yeah, I had said that we were going to take a break. We did the wine time season in the spring and we took summer off. And then we were coming back in the fall with our new set and our new wines, lots of new
Yes.
things
Super
happening.
excited about it too.
Really excited. And then, of course, everything just kind of went topsy turvy. So, yeah,
Mhm.
our guest on that day, somebody that you brought to our Heart and Paw partner program, which I know you're going to talk about in a moment, but it
Mhm.
was Christian Meyer from Rough Riders, right?
Yep.
And, like I said, we were going to just take a breath, take a pause. But he was really impressed with our little show, our wine time
I
show.
mean, who wouldn't be?
Who wouldn't be? It's our charm and wit. I mean, what are you going to do?
Sure.
So he kind of, he has another company, Phoenix Media, and really what he specializes in is taking small companies like ours who just really want to get their message out, right? We were all working really hard. I'm here with Todd and Bob, Mendelbeck Studios, who without them this wouldn't even be possible. But it's professional, right? And so our challenge was that we didn't have a big enough audience. So anyway, Christian was really impressed with what we're doing, and so we're partnering with Phoenix Media, and we're going to be doing these wine times. They're going to be featured every Thursday at 5 p.m. phoenixmedia.us, and yeah, hopefully we can get in front of eyes and sell some wine and
Yeah.
give back, right? Because that's what we're all
Yeah.
about.
We have really funny things to say.
So let's just, without any further ado, let's just talk really quickly. I'm going to tell people about, who we are, what we do, why we do what we do. So Nectar of the Dog's Wine, I co-founded in 2015, and it was really my way just to honor my dogs. I co-founded with a partner, and so the dogs on the label, you will see there are quite a few of them. There's actually 6 on the original label, but let's look at So 4 at the time, but 5 now. Yeah, the original label is Connie, Clyde, Mika, and Floyd is featured on another couple of our wines. And then, as I mentioned, little Vinny just went to the Rainbow Bridge. Still a very big hole in my heart. But we're going to honor Vin on the next wine that we are going to produce. We're looking for Zinfandel. We always, I don't want to say
A Vin
jokingly,
for Vin.
a Zin for Vin, the Vin
Love it.
Zin.
I
Yeah,
love it.
that was always kind of our thing. Todd he loves Zinfandel. I love certain Zinfandels. I didn't think we were going to have to look for a Zin so quickly, but that's going to be the next wine. And yeah, Vinny's going
I
to be on
can't
the
wait. I
label.
love Zinfandel too.
So that's kind of our story. Monica, why don't you tell everybody about our current portfolio of wines?
I would be happy to. So I'll get started with the CCF McMurphy, our red blend and only wine from Paso Robles. It's 80% Cab, 20% Cab Franc, aged 18 to 27 months in new French oak. So it just adds some really nice complexity to it. You get a lot of those berry, black pepper, and smoky flavors. Really yummy with like a wine or a cheeseburger, or I mean, just about anything. It's a really great one. Scored 90 points with the wine enthusiast and the tasting panel. So everyone agrees it's a great wine.
Awesome.
And then we and then we have our 2017 Three Dogs White, which scored 92 points in the tasting panel. This is a beautiful blend of 80% estate-grown Viognier, 18% Gewürztraminer, and just 2% late harvest Muscat Canali. It's a really nice, crisp lemon lime, really well balanced. Light white blend. And then we just released a 2019, which is the same blend, but offers just a slightly different profile and just a little bit more alcohol content if, that's what you're looking for.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have our Rosé of Pinot Noir, 87 points in Wine Enthusiast. This is really semi-dry, light-bodied, and crisp rosé. I mean, if you like a rosé, you're going to love this one. It's delicious and pairs really well with ice cream and peanut butter, which is a story I can maybe tell later. It's really, really versatile. And then, of course, our 2015 Chardonnay, 86 points with Wine Enthusiast. This is an unoaked Chardonnay, so it's crisp, but it's still full-bodied. It has a really nice creamy finish at the end. So good.
I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, that's our current portfolio of wines. We're always changing. I'm looking for some new stuff next year. So you're just going to have to stay tuned, maybe join the wine club or keep watching.
Melanie, yeah. So it's limited edition. So like the 2017 Three Dogs White is
gone.
It's getting low, right?
Well, it is getting low. Yes, we still have some. So
and then we did also have a Rosé of Malbec, which is also pretty much gone.
Pretty much gone.
So you're just gonna get it.
You're gonna have to keep watching Wine Time to see what's coming up next. But before we go to a break here, I want to just say we're really excited to have our guest on this week. It's Madeleine Bernstein. She is the CEO and president of spcaLA. She has been since 1994. I'm not going to do that math, but that's quite a while here. And fun fact here, Monica, I bet you didn't know, the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, Los Angeles, spcaLA, is a local independent animal welfare organization serving Southern California since 1877. Not going to do the math there, but anyway.
Did you 1877?
I did.
That's amazing.
So let's take a break and we'll come back and talk to Madeline.
Dear John, I'm leaving. Uncontrolled high blood pressure is serious, and I can quit whenever I want. Why can't we get back to when you checked on me? I don't want to leave, but remember, when I quit, you quit. Sincerely, your heart.
Listen to your heart and don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range today. For help keeping yours at a healthy range, text PRESSURE to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. Take one.
Behold the angry giant.
Try it again, Alberto.
Behold the angry giant.
Perfect. Good luck tonight.
Behold the angry giant.
Yay! Read me another one, Dad.
This is WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman!
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
So Monica, you know, we drink a lot of Nectar of the Dogs. We do, which is awesome.
We do. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta reach out into the other selection of wines, right? So what are you drinking tonight?
So tonight I am drinking Honeycut. This is their 2017 Fearless Red. It's a red blend. Honeycut, it's a small winery in St. Helena in Napa Valley. Mm-hmm. I went there for a wine tasting with some girlfriends a couple years ago. We did a little private tour. We did a tour of their cave, got a little tasting right out of the barrel. It was so good. It was such a really nice experience. And then I heard that they were affected by the glass fire up in Napa. And, you know, my birthday was coming up, so I thought I'd do my part and put in my order for some Honeycut wines. Zinfandel is my absolute favorite, but that I drank pretty quickly after I opened the box.
Pretty quickly. You know, I love Napa. I know that we're fortunate here in California, right? We have so many different regions and areas. You know, our wines come from the Central Coast and Central Valley, Santa Barbara County, Lodi, Paso Robles. But yeah, Napa, I love Napa. It's so sad what just happened with all those fires. Yeah. I, tonight, am drinking one of my favorites. It's Chateau Montelena Chardonnay. It's a 2017.
Very nice.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm sure a lot of people already know that Chateau Montelena, if you've seen that movie, Bottle Shock, kind of one of the wineries that really put Napa on the map.
Love that movie.
I love that movie, too. And I love this wine. And it's really, you know, I when I was looking to bottle my first Chardonnay, I was looking for this flavor profile, so it's definitely one of my favorites. We're members there. We try to get up there like, I don't know, once or twice a year, do the Cellar Master tasting. Just a beautiful property. And I'm super happy that the property's still there. Kind of bummed, however, they let us know that they're not going to be bottling any 2020 vintage of red because...
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's not good. But anyway, tell us a little bit about our Heart and Paw partner program, because I'm excited to talk to Madeleine. I want to get her on and let's talk about her book.
Yes. We have a great program. Our rescue partners, these are all of our core rescues that we partner with throughout the year on specials, promotions, events. A portion of the proceeds from all of our annual sales is donated to these organizations. So we cross-promote on social media since, you know, we're essentially targeting a similar audience. I mean, dog lovers tend to also be wine lovers. So, you know, we kind of share that audience together. We promote their word, they promote ours. And the more wine that we sell, the more we're able to give back to support their cause and their mission.
Dogs and wine, it's just like the two of the best things in life, right?
It's just meant to be. Yeah.
I feel like I like dogs better than people most of the time, and I love wine all the time.
I can't argue with that.
So, without any further ado, let's bring on Madeleine. As I mentioned, she's the president and CEO of spcaLA, and she has been since 1994. Madeleine, how are you? Let's welcome to Wine Time. Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's can't do a cheers without a drink.
Can't do anything without a drink.
That's true. That is true. Our kind of people. Yes. You know, we had the honor of talking with Miriam, and she's been to a couple of our events. And I want to just really quickly talk about how we started our partnership back in 2017. I reached out to the spcaLA. I think Thelma was working there at the time. And I said, we're a wine company, we're new boutique, and we give back to dog rescue. So would you be interested in attending one of our events? She's there. There it is on the right there. We gave $1,000 right off the bat. I believe we were releasing our Rose and Malbec. And that's how the partnership kind of started. And, of course, any organization is thankful of a donation, but when we wrote that check to such a wonderful organization such as yours, it was really an inspiration, and I'm so glad that we've continued on with the partnership. As I mentioned, that was in 2017, and then 2018 you came out with your book, which we're going to talk about. But I remember, we sponsored, I think that was one of your book release parties, and so I got to meet you there. I got my own copy, and yeah, your book, Designer Dogs, an expose inside the criminal underworld of crossbreeding. Tell us about it. What was your inspiration for the book, and how cool was it to meet Dr. Phil?
Well, first of all, I just want to say one of my other favorite things besides dogs and wine are corporate citizens that actually give back to charities, regardless of what charities they are, what they're for, but we wouldn't survive without that. So thank you.
Absolutely.
The book came out because there was suddenly this influx of designer dogs. We were always, those of us in the shelter business were always fighting to compete with pedigrees, the original designer dogs. And the purebreds, and saying, adopt a shelter dog, you can get a lot of pedigrees are at the shelter. And then all of a sudden, this big blast of designer dogs came out, starting with the Labradoodle. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, everybody started mixing breeds. And, the joke is that a designer dog, like a cockapoo or a puggle or a chihuahua, is a mutt. It's essentially a mutt. So right. I went nuts one day, and I gave, certificates of authenticity for every animal in the shelter. We just made up names for them and just said, here you go. Congratulations. You have your first puggle, you have your first, Shapridia, right? And right. Everyone, because it was ridiculous that everyone was going, I have a purebred Labradoodle, which is really a mutt, right?
Right.
And so then I was contacted by a publisher who was really interested in some of the writing I had been doing about, pulling my hair out over this. And the book came about. And then Dr. Phil, who is actually an animal advocate, and I had been on his show a couple of times as a subject matter expert when he was doing animal issues mm-hmm. and animal cruelty. I said, you think you could write the foreword, And he was like, yeah. And there it was. It was just great. So it's been an interesting experience.
Yeah, I mean, his words just really kind of, nailed it on the head. And he's talking about the dog that he adopted from the spcaLA. And, right. I can relate to that so much. I mean, just, I've had a lot of dogs over the last 25 years. I'm partial to dachshunds, but I love all animals, equal opportunity canine lover. But yeah, just dogs are just wonderful. And shelter dogs are just even more amazing.
Well,
let me
if
ask
you want a designer dog, a shelter dog is the most unique, one of a kind designer dog. That's the real one. Right?
We had a husky mix. Her name is Mika. She's featured on the label. And my husband got her from the shelter in Cleveland, and he's like, she's the best. It's the best $50 I ever spent. They said that she was kind of like a Shar-Pei Husky mix, but as time went on, she lived to be 14 years old, and everybody had an opinion because she had like Husky markings, but her temperament was just, gosh, she was one of the best dogs, and it was so hard to lose her. But she's on the label; she's remembered forever. And let me ask you this question, because people ask me sometimes too. Well, how is spcaLA different than like ASPCA or the other organizations? Because I've heard some bad things about like the bigger organizations. So tell me how that's a little bit different.
So the ASPCA, which is basically the New York SPCA, was the first SPCA in the United States. They started in 1866, and they were modeled after the RSPCA, the Royal Society, that's in England. And so the story goes, the founder of the ASPCA wanted to copy, what was happening in England in animal welfare. So he founded the first American SPCA. He then went on to convince other states that they needed such a corporation as well. So what ended up happening is most states have to legislate a society for the prevention of cruelty to animals, that kind of a nonprofit. And so basically every SPCA is separate and distinct and legally different and does different things. But the ASPCA very often markets as a national organization, which it is not. It's always been kind of a problem. I mean, we've been around since 1877, and we're so old that, believe it or not, we opened as an SPCC as well, which is Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, because in 1877, women, children, and animals were legally property. Oh. And we're so old, our articles of incorporation are handwritten. We preceded the typewriter. And so basically when older than I am, right? So when social services laws came into place, eventually the SPCAs moved more towards animals, and the child labor laws actually were starting to be governed by, social services. Because remember, the other thing is there weren't cars either. So, transportation was horses, and right. Factories were operated by beasts of burden. So the SPCAs really had a lot to do, and they were all government-run things, and it was all government-run persecution of women, children, and animals. And so the government was not trusted to enforce and police itself. So hence, organizations like mine not only evolved, but have law enforcement power so that we can actually enforce laws against cruelty to children. So the ASPCA, when you see those commercials, when you see those things, and you send funds to them, it does not get distributed by zip code all over the country. It stays right in New York. And they don't do anything to dispel that notion because it's profitable.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I did, hear some stuff. I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, that's kind of, maybe the money doesn't always go where you think it kind of goes, I guess is
right.
what I'm.
Well,
right.
You need to research. You also need to research where you're donating. And I always say, if you want to donate to both, that's great. But if you have a limited amount of disposable income, at least see where the funds are going, because, we can only market so much, but people really do have to take the responsibility.
Yeah, it's important. Consumers, they need to do the research. Absolutely, 100%. If you're going to bring another, child into your life, I call my dogs my children, dog or cat, you need to understand what you're getting and where it's coming from. So let's just take a quick break here. We're going to come back with Madeline and talk about COVID-19 and pets.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter Brooklyn was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with, all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Now more than ever, family matters, and Surratt Law Practice has your family in mind.
Kimberly Surratt and her team have been helping maintain healthy families through their holistic approach to adoption and surrogacy, child custody, estate planning, and more for over 13 years. Your family law concerns are in caring hands with Surratt Law. Schedule your private consultation with a compassionate Surratt Law practice team member today by calling 775-636-8200 or visiting lawyersforfamilies.com. Surratt Law, where family matters.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us.
So let's talking about your book, Madeline. I know that the proceeds from sales of the book obviously go to spcaLA, and you were kind enough, and thank you for this, to send 10 books to us, autographed, and we are going to give those books to the first 10 people who purchase wine. So go to nectarofthedogswine.com and order your wine and get a book. And if you are not one of the first 10 people, just get a book anyway. This needs to get out there. People need to understand that, if you're a dog lover, you owe it to yourself and to them. You need to know where these dogs come from and what damage can be done by purchasing a designer dog. That's what this book is all about. And Madeline is awesome for letting everybody know. I have a question to you, Madeline, as well. So, Miriam sent us some information, some talking points, and I've heard a couple of different things, that COVID can be passed from your pets to you or vice versa. What is the real of it? Tell us about COVID-19 and pets, because this pesky virus.
Okay, so essentially, pets are more likely to catch COVID-19 from people. And there's no evidence that it's a zoonotic problem going the other way, which means people can't necessarily get it from pets. Mm-hmm. However, we are trying to educate people to just be careful and respectful and keep a distance, socially distant to the extent possible with a dog you don't know or a cat you don't know. Cats can actually get sick from SARS. Dogs so far, no. But the danger and, the way we've sort of created all our protocols and what we want people to be careful with when they're out with their dogs in dog parks or whatever is two things. One, somebody can sneeze on your dog who's COVID active. Mm-hmm. And if you suddenly bend down and touch your dog or kiss your dog, you can have what they call a fomite transfer. Very unlikely. Everything has to be a perfect storm. But the other thing is we do know that COVID is transmitted in wastewater and poop. So we have been telling people since day one to not let your dog stick his or her nose in other dogs' stuff. And if need be, if he's out in an area with a dog park and there's a lot of dogs and a lot of poop, we even said you could put booties on the dog, mm-hmm. just to have something to take off. Because, when they had the Bronx Zoo tigers that caught COVID, they caught it from a zookeeper. They didn't just, develop it from the air. So there's no danger with your pets. However, you need to be vigilant with your pets like you are with everything else surrounding COVID.
I'm just, there just are no words, just no more words. I mean, this year has just been brutal with that, animals.
Animals likely to get COVID besides cats who are susceptible to SARS really are ferrets, minks, And members of the weasel family, they're very susceptible to corona influenza. And in fact, in some cases, ferrets are tested in laboratories to learn things about human response to influenza. So those are really the animals that are more, susceptible to it. But again, there's no evidence as of today at this exact time that there's any zoonotic transmission back to humans.
Well, that's good to know. And I think that you do offer some guidance. Actually, I was reading that. You can go to spcaLA.com backslash COVID-19 to learn more about it. You can never learn too much, I think, about your animals in general. There's just so much out there. I think that the more that you understand and know, the better pet parent you can be, and just the better person you can be. Honestly,
Right.
that's how I feel.
And if you're coming to spcaLA to adopt, we have been open for adoptions by appointment and contact free. Know that when animals come in, we do have and it's in the protocols, they are wiped down with an appropriate mix of stuff just to be on the safe side, which not only protects staff and other animals, but will protect you if you're adopting from SPCA. So we're extremely careful. I'm kind of anal about all of that. And so you can be comfortable adopting from us for the COVID.
That's good. One other thing I wanted to mention too. So I know there was, there is still going to be your holiday charity bazaar, which is virtual now. We are offering actually 10% off wines, and I think that's going to be starting November 26th, I think, to December 5th. So people can go online, enter the code spcaLA holiday. There's a lot of spcaLA holiday. And yes, receive 10% off the wine. And then, of course, as our Heart and Paw partners, we're going to donate 10% of the proceeds to the spcaLA. So, I'm really, really, yay. Finally, just excited that you were here today. It's been a couple years since we've seen each other, but it was a very brief meeting last time. But I just want to thank you for your time and all the information, and just the wonderful work that you do is appreciated. Just cheers and God bless. Stay safe. And we will talk to you again soon on Wine Time. So thank you, Madeleine. Good to see you.
And thank you for your generosity. And what's a better holiday gift than a bottle of wine and a book, right?
Exactly. A bottle of wine and a book. Come on, people. It's holiday time.
Right? Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
So, Monica, speaking of holidays, Thanksgiving, how could Thanksgiving already be here? But it's here. Hopefully you had a nice turkey dinner, or maybe not. Maybe, you don't eat turkey. I don't know. Maybe you had a vegetarian dinner, whatever it is. Hopefully you just were able to celebrate with somebody that you loved, family, friends. What are you going to be doing, or what did you do? What's your plan?
We're taking a road trip up the coast. We're going to hit Monterey. We'll have Thanksgiving in Yosemite. And then we'll drop into Sequoia, a little outside time. That's why I wore my Better Outside shirt.
Yeah, outside is probably a good place to be. We did have some plans. We were going to head to Vegas to visit some friends, but it's just going to be Todd and Bronny and I. Vinny and Spirits, but
normally we host here at our house, and we have about 15 people, family members, and we usually rent some tables, set up outside because we're in Southern California, so we can have Thanksgiving dinner outside. But yeah, just not a good time for that. I guess 2020 is all about being in your own little pods.
I was looking at the weather. It said that it's going to be, I think, maybe only 70 degrees. I swear to God. I mean, seriously, the last 15 years, it's been like 90 degrees on Thanksgiving.
I know. I think there was one year we actually had to bring all the tables inside because it was maybe going to rain, and renting like a tent or heat lamps was just going to be too much. So we brought everything inside.
Well, I love Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite holidays. It's like, I don't know, Christmas sometimes seems so stressful, because it is
Yeah,
stressful. And
I agree.
Thanksgiving, it's great food, it's great wine. And we've
Great.
already picked out the wines that we're gonna drink on Thanksgiving. I know
What
I'm
do
gonna
you?
be. I think I'm probably gonna be cracking open a Farniente Chardonnay. One of my faves. I'm sure I'll start in the morning with some nectar, maybe some
Right.
champagne. It's just a day of like eating and drinking and watching football.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's one of my
We
favorite
usually
days.
our special occasion wine is Spring Mountain, also a Napa Valley winery.
Hmm.
They have an Elevette. It's a really nice blend. We have it stocked in our wine fridge and only break it out during the special occasions. And
Hello. I don't think we've had that at one of our wine dinners,
I
or did
think we
we?
have actually, and I have proof. I have photo proof that we have brought it out.
I think actually you might be right. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
Todd's got some special reds set aside, so I can't wait to see what they are going to be. But, I want to tell you this really funny story because coming up in the next segment, we're going to be talking about dogs and wine life, right? I told you we changed up the format of
Our
Wine Time,
favorite topics.
our favorite topics. And wine is awesome. I mean, we love drinking wine, but dogs are just even more. So I was remembering a couple of years ago, we had some people over, right? And we had finished our dinner and we were sitting there in our food coma. And all of a sudden we heard a ruckus. We heard a ruckus. And we went in the dining room and Bronny was there on the table with his head in like the carcass.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Bronny.
Yeah.
How could you? Not that sweet
Oh, here
puppy.
he is.
Look at him. He
There
would
he is.
never.
He's like, wait, me? What? Yes, it was you. Yes, it was you. Yes, it was you. But so that was one. And then I don't know if it was the same year or maybe the year after, but again, had dinner watching football in our food coma. And uh, suddenly we heard something and we went in there and there was a big smudge in the pumpkin pie, like a big paw print.
Bronny.
It wasn't Bronny, it was Vinny. It was Vinny.
Vinny, rest
So
in peace, Vinny.
I know, rest in peace,
Sure,
little
it was
baby Vinny.
worth every second.
I'm pretty sure we ate the pie. I think we just cut around like the piece that yeah.
I would do the same thing. You can't waste pumpkin pie.
You cannot waste pumpkin pie. But yeah, that was a funny story that I just remembered. And so, it's just going to be kind of mellow this year. Bronny's,
I don't know how they got up there.
I don't know either because I thought we pushed the chairs in. But you know what? A dachshund, a wiener dog, where there is
They
a
will
will,
find a way.
there is a way.
Yeah.
But Bronny's he's deaf, right? And since his little buddy's gone to the Rainbow Bridge, he's just like really, really needy right now. And so if I'm not in the room, if I'm not there, he just cries and whines. So we're kind of like, I don't know, do we bring more into the pack or do we let him just enjoy his young, or I should say golden year? I don't know. I'm torn.
Maybe foster. So
I thought
it's
about
not
fostering.
permanent. I mean, I know Vinny was a foster and he ended up living the good life
Yeah, he
all
was
the
a
way
failed
till the end.
yeah, failed foster. So that is a consideration. I just know how I am, and if I bring a dog in, they're not
Well,
going anywhere.
what if you foster a dog that's not a
Wiener?
doxie?
Could be a possibility. Could be a possibility. But you know what? We're going to talk about dogs and wine in a little bit more detail after this. So let's take a break.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see, every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
So, we're going to be talking about dogs and wine, right? I said we were changing up the format a bit, and so this next segment's going to be all about our two favorite things. Monica, you know this. My close friends know this. A bunch more people are going to know this now. Yes, I am Melanie, Mel to some people, but I'm also known as Wiener Mama. Wiener Mama Mel. I know. Go ahead and laugh. It's, nothing bad.
Get you a name tag or something for that.
Wiener Mama, yes. But it's because I love dachshunds. I remember the first time I saw a dachshund, I was on a trip in San Francisco. I was 25 years old, and I saw this little dachshund running around with this big German Shepherd, and the dachshund rolled over, and the German Shepherd stepped on his stomach, and I'm like, oh my gosh, poor little dog. And that little dog just jumped right around, and he went after the German Shepherd, and I'm just like, that is the cutest dog I've ever seen in my whole life. I got Clyde way back in 1995, and then of course I had Connie.
That was Clyde.
That was Clyde. Well, no, Clyde. That was the inspiration for Clyde.
Oh, okay.
I'm 25 years old. I was living in this apartment in Hollywood, traveling from work and stuff, and I had these two little dogs. And over the course of time, 27 to I was 44 when they passed away. I went through a couple of marriages. I moved to different cities. But the constant in my life was these dogs and the love, and gosh, when they left, it was so tough. But, then of course we had Bronny and Vinny. And so Todd can show you this here. This is Bronny and Vinny. And, so they were the second generation of the Wieners, right? So we had Connie and Clyde, they were seniors, and then Bronny and Vinny, they were two, and Vinny was just a puppy. So at one point we had 5 dogs. We had a big pack. Mika, the husky, obviously she thought she was a dachshund, but I've had a lot of dachshunds in my life, so I know quite a bit.
And I think we need to apologize to everybody for that indecent photo.
I remember, you were going to put some little stars on that, but hey, it's a wiener of a wiener.
Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, everybody. But so, we have a close group of friends here, you and Mark and Keith and Christina, and you guys opted for the 2-legged children, which is totally fine.
We
Todd
just
and I
have the one.
Just the one. That's true.
Christina had to go for the 2.
They had to go for 2. But yeah, we were the dog parents of the group for a very,
Yeah.
very long time until this year at one of our events before events got shut down. Thanks, COVID.
Yeah. Right
Uh,
before.
we worked
got
with an
right
organization. What?
We just got right in there right before the lockdown.
Right before, that's true. That's true. We worked with an organization called Chiquita's Friends, another one of our Heart and Paw partners. And that is when Isla and McAdoo came into the pack, right? So,
Peppers.
yeah,
Look
so cute. So, Isla and McAdoo, they're young. Obviously, Bronny and Vinny are in their senior years now, or, well, Bronny is. But yeah, these dogs, this was just a few months ago. It was okay to break quarantine. We were camping outdoors. But oh my gosh, these dogs are just so dang cute. Don't you
I
think?
know. And look, they're all tiny, and McAdoo's really tall, but he's afraid of all of those little dogs.
He was afraid. He's like,
He's just afraid of them.
Yeah, those were so Bronny and Vinny, they came from the All American Dachshund Rescue, another one of our Heart and Paw partners. Yeah, so obviously we know they're dachshunds. And then Geraldine from Chiquita's Friends, she rescues her dogs from Tijuana. So these are the Tijuana street dogs, she calls them. And so we believe that's Isla there on the left there, the all black one.
She's so cute.
She's
I
so
love
cute.
those soft ears.
She's the only girl, but she, we think she's a Chiweenie. So as Madeline was just saying, a designer dog, but she's a mutt, right? She's a Chihuahua and a Dachshund probably.
Yeah.
And yeah, her and Vinny they all. And then McAdoo, did you have his DNA tested?
He got his DNA. Yeah. Talk about designer dog. Yeah. He is Brittany, German short-haired pointer, Irish setter, and Labrador retriever.
But he's so little. Like who would know that?
I don't know. He's a fancy schmancy dog, though.
He's so cute. He's so cute. It's really nice to have some youngsters in the family. We told Keith and Christina, I think we're going to have to borrow Isla every once in a while just for Bronny because, he's just missing his buddy. But, dogs are they're wonderful, such an important part of our lives. And I'm glad that we at least, we only have them for a short period of time. So I say you got to take lots of pictures, just love them every day because you never know.
Remind me again, Melanie, how many pictures do you have on your phone of your dog?
Okay, there was one folder called dogs. And I think there's 3,500 pictures in there. That's just one folder. I have a little bit of a problem there, but it's been really helpful during this time when Vinny's not around. I mean, I have videos too, right? And so I can just, when I'm feeling sad, I'll go in there and I'll listen to his bark and, it helps.
Remember
It
how
really
happy
helps.
he was. You guys gave him a great life. He was very happy.
He did have a great life. So we were also talking, it's the holidays. Gosh, well, it's the holidays. Obviously, Thanksgiving's, history books 2020. But we have Christmas, we have Hanukkah, we have Kwanzaa, we have all things coming up. And I wanted to just let everybody know, or you can let everybody know, what makes a great gift, as we just mentioned.
Oh, well, wine, of course. Everyone on my list is getting wine, even my 13-year-old niece.
You can never start too early. I mean, come on, at least it's good. Yeah.
It's got pictures of dogs on it, so
you can't go wrong with that. We, special occasions, holiday dinners, housewarming gifts, corporate gifting. I mean, wine is perfect. And especially, I'm just going to be a little bit biased here. Our wine, because when you buy and enjoy our wine, you know that you're drinking for a great cause. 10% of our wine sales go to our Heart and Paw partners. So you're going to be drinking anyway. Lots of holiday dinners. I would say lots of holiday parties, but that's not happening.
No.
But you know what? No. Still, I guess you can just drink. We're going to go back to virtual or Zoom happy hours, right? We're going to be back on lockdown.
For sure. And, and you can raise your glass to a good cause because a portion of the proceeds, like Mel said, goes back to dog rescue. So that's got to be heartwarming and, delicious.
And delicious. So, I wanted really quickly kind of talk about, as I mentioned, we used to do a Christmas party every year, just kind of like a neighborhood. We called it a pub crawl where we'd go from house to house and everybody kind of had their different. Yeah, you've been there. But so we kind of have our go-to appetizers, right? I have my award-winning meatballs, which
Oh my gosh, Mark
Oh,
loves those award-winning meatballs.
I won $25 at a party one time. Therefore, I do call them award-winning. I can share the recipe, on the website. It's super complicated.
I don't know if anyone can follow along with these instructions, Mel.
I'm gonna maybe I could do off the top of my head. I can think.
The ingredients are a little difficult to get a hold of, but yeah, you tell them.
Let me think. A crock pot, frozen meatballs, grape jelly, and barbecue sauce. Dump, stir, serve. Award-winning meatballs.
So fancy.
Wait, and then, so we'd have our party, right? And we all kind of go around and eat and drink and be merry because that's what you do in the holidays. And then around like 10 o'clock, Todd had an inspiration one year because he had these Scotch eggs in Minneapolis. And I'm like, what? So he was trying to explain to me, what it is. He's like, well, it's a hard-boiled egg in a sausage and it's breaded. And I was like, well, how do you get the egg like in the sausage? Blonde moment. Yeah. So no, you take the hard-boiled egg and then you wrap it very carefully with, ground sausage, and then you bread it and you fry it. And so that's Todd's specialty. And so we all drink that, a little later in the night after we've had a little bit to drink. And gosh, those are such a hit.
I love the Scotch eggs. Yeah.
Scotch eggs. Yeah. The honey mustard dipping sauce. And then of course, it goes great with a wonderful Chardonnay or red wine, if that's what you're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much goes with anything.
I think so too. So on your award-winning meatballs, must be like a specialty grape jelly, right? It can't just be any kind of grape jelly.
No, I think just the squeezable Smuckers is what I use because it's easy to get it out.
It's the barbecue sauce. The barbecue sauce is special.
I think what I've used is Casey Masterpiece. That's really hard to find Casey Masterpiece. So maybe it's the you got to find the right combination of grape jelly to barbecue sauce. I don't know.
Delicate set.
Yeah. But those are my go-to, and I found that it's quite a big hit. We're obviously not going to be having parties this year, but we'll do what we can. Like I say, virtual, Zoom.
If you guys make those specialty balls and the Scotch eggs, find a way to ship them over, please. That would be great.
All right, maybe we can do that. So before we close out here, I just I want to let everybody know, right, where they can find our wines and what else we got going on. So why don't you take this one, Monica?
Oh, sure. Our wines are available on our website, nectarthedogswine.com. We ship anywhere in California and Nevada. And if you happen to be in the Simi Valley or San Fernando Valley areas, let us know, and you can either pick up or we can deliver for free. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Nectar of the Dogs Wine. We also have a YouTube channel. So if you want to see any of our previous Wine Time episodes, which we used to do just on our Facebook page, you can find those there on YouTube. And of course, if you want to join us on Wine Time or partner with us in any way, shape, or form, you can reach out to me or Melanie.
That's true. That is true. So, go out, have some, buy some wine, drink for a great cause. This has been really fun. And I'm really, thankful to Mendelmack Studios here, Todd and Bob. Thank you guys, because as I say, this would not be possible without you. Bronny wants to say hi. Hi. I totally just woke him up.
Good morning.
But we're excited. Hopefully, we can get some people out there, get some eyes on the program, get some wine sold, because at the end of the day, you're drinking with us for a great cause. And we just want to say thank you and cheers, everybody. May dogs continue to bless your life, and we will see you next time.
Cheers.